And let's give practice problem number 2 a shot. So everybody, what are we being asked to find here? Come on, let's read the question sentence first. Right over here, it says, hey, how much water remains? Everybody, what's the biggest, most obvious keyword that we can think of in that red highlight? Yeah, remains, right there. How much water remains? Everybody, when we're asking how much of something remains or how much of something is left, what operation are we thinking of? Yeah, we're thinking about subtraction. We're thinking about subtraction here. So when we write that out or we think about it, we're trying to subtract how much water we had in the beginning from how much water we perhaps used. And so when we check things out, here's what we have. We have Marcus had 8 cups of water, and he used 3/4 of a cup of water to water his plants. Okay, sounds good. So here's what it sounds like we need to do. I'm not asking you if you're confident right now. I'm asking you if this part makes sense. Here's how much water we started with, 8 cups. And we want to subtract 3/4 of a cup because that's what we used. And that'll get us the remaining amount of water. Does the general idea here make sense, everybody? We take how much water we had in the beginning, we subtract how much water we used, and we'll get how much water is left. Right? Pretty straightforward. Now, what isn't straightforward is how are we supposed to work with a whole number minus a fraction? That can be the part that's a little confusing. Now, everybody, I want to show you 2 ways of doing this one. I want to show you the long way first, and then I want to show you the clean, easier way when it comes to dealing with problems that are similar to this one. So I want to show you both ways. Let's begin with that longer method, everybody. So everyone, help me out. Pop quiz from yesterday. Whenever we are adding or subtracting fractions, we need the same what? Correct. We need the same denominator. Exactly. So let me show you again. I'm going to be very clear here. This is a slightly longer way, much longer way, and I'll show you the much faster way in a moment. So we need the same denominator between these 2 values. Everybody, even though I don't see a denominator on the 8, what is that denominator going to be? Correct. The denominator is going to be 1. I'm not talking about what we need it to be because we already know we need it to be the same as the other one over here. But we know that we can write any number as over 1 to begin with. So pretty much what we have here is 8 over 1 minus 3 over 4. So everyone, if we wanted to get that same denominator, what could we easily multiply 1 by to get the same denominator? Yeah, we could easily multiply by 4. And let's do it carefully, though. Let's do it carefully so we don't make mistakes. So I'll multiply the bottom and the top, because remember, just as a reminder, whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top, and vice versa. So here we have 8 multiplied by 4, which is going to give us 32 over 4. And we are subtracting 3 over 4. Help me out, everybody. Now that we have the same denominator, are we ready and able to perform the subtraction? Oh yeah, absolutely. We're good. Let me just move this off to the side a little bit and finish it up. 32 minus 3, that's going to give us 29, and that'll be over 4. So now that we're here, I want to remind you that this problem says, hey, express your answer as a mixed number. So because of that, who remembers how to take an improper fraction and turn it into a mixed number? Correct. We're going to be dividing. Exactly. We're going to be dividing the 29 by 4. And what happens to the remainder, everybody? What happens to the remainder? What does it do? The remainder remains, right? Yeah, the remainder will remain on the top. So here we go. Let's get this done. Let me zoom on in. So here we go, 29 over 4. Let's perform it. 4 going into 29. 4 goes into 29. That'll be a clean, well, not a clean, but that'll be 7 times and a little extra. Because 4 times 7 is 28. So let's subtract the 28 and we get 1 left over. So this 7 is the whole number of times, the whole number that we can create. And that 1 is what remains in the numerator. So the way that we would write this out is going to be 7 as the whole number with 1 remaining up top out of the same denominator. Keep the denominator. When you divide, the whole number comes out as the whole number, and then the remainder remains up top. Everyone, what's the correct answer going to be here? Yeah, correct answer here is going to be A. But to be honest, who here feels like there's a much faster way to do this? Who here feels like we can definitely get this done in a much faster way? All right, sounds good. Even if you don't quite see it yet, let me show you here. I gotcha. So let me go ahead and I only need this space over here. I only need this little space on the bottom right. Let me go ahead and show you the same exact problem. It's been 8 minus 3/4. All right, everybody. Let's go ahead and give this a think. Let's give this a think here. Let's pause for a moment. Everyone, quick question. If we were trying to represent a whole out of 4, let's just go ahead and write it over here on the bottom. What number would we need up top here to represent a whole 1? What number belongs up here so that this turns into a whole 1? Yeah, that's 4. Absolutely. Everybody, quick question. Is it true that if I wanted to, I could make 8, I could split it up into 7 and 1? Does that make sense? Is 8 the same as 7 and 1? Absolutely is. Half of y'all are still thinking, Coach, where is this going? Ooh, spooky. Well, I gotcha. Guess what, everybody? I can replace the 1. I can replace it with 4 over 4. Because everybody, what did we say? What is 4 divided by 4 going to be again? Yeah, that's going to be 1. That's going to be 1. So this is technically 7 and 1, which is the same thing as 8. But looking at it this way, look at the advantage that we have now. Let me drop down that minus 3/4. Let me just bring it on down. Everybody, do you see how much easier this looks? Is it easier to do 4 over 4 minus 3 over 4? Oh, yeah. When we take a look at all this might as well be calculus. This might as well be physics. I don't get all this. If we can make it as easy as this, we're good. Everybody, what is 4 over 4 minus 3 over 4? What is that going to be right here? Yeah, that's 1 over 4. So this is now going to be the 7 that we still had. So 7 and 1 over 4, which is the same exact thing as 7 and 1/4. We're done. That's it. We're good. Because we understand how fractions work. We know that we can split the 8 up into 7 and a whole number, a whole 1. And then once we see that subtraction, booyah, super easy, barely inconvenience, and we can move over and along with our day. How do we feel, everybody? Was that a little eye-opening, or did we already know that to be true?